So obviously a huge trip coming up for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
One of them is the in-state tournament seeding's purposes. I think that's fair to say.
Oh yeah.
How mindful of you that? How important is that, especially after not getting a win in one of those marquee games in Vegas?
Well, so to your question about the NCAA tournament, um, games of this magnitude affect a lot. Your point was seeding.
Yeah.
My point is getting in.
Okay. Yeah.
People may say, well, you're 7 in Ken Palm. I would just say because um, that's how I think. I think you start getting ahead of yourself in life. Uh, like I would say, you start show me a guy not humble. I'll show you a guy getting ready to get humble. You start worrying about seeding, you won't make the tournament. So, um, but yeah, big week for a lot of reasons. Um, and really from here on out. Um, but look, Maryland is probably going to be sold out. They're in finals, so their students are still there. Um, so it'll be a great atmosphere, great opportunity for us to play in a raucous environment, which we did not do at Stanford, as you know.
Yeah.
Pro UCLA crowd. So just the Maryland game alone, to be able to play, then you get a taste of the league we're going to be in, right? When Kevin and I did the game, it was before, we were secretly being put into Big Ten, unbeknownst to Kevin and myself. So, he's obviously already restored Maryland basketball back to a top 25 team. But teams with great history, traditions, a great series. I think you start talking about implications. It's just for seeding. It's just awfully early for that. But it does matter. You got to get quality. You get a chance to get a road win. What do they call it? Quad.
Quad one.
Yeah, quad one win. They use all those metrics to support their decision either way.
Right.
But I just think it's going to be a great atmosphere. These are, if you come to UCLA, you want to play in big games. You're going to go to certain schools, you expect to play in big games. National TV, big time crowds, big time environments. That's what this week's all about. For our guys, for our team, we're going to find out where we're at. A lot of young guys, a lot of other people have plugged their rosters with the portal, which like Kevin had to do because he got the job late. So you really got no choice. You can't go out and recruit. There's nobody left. We're here. We're trying to plug our holes with our graduates and our NBA early entrance to, with a lot of young guys. So that way we can build our program. But it'll be interesting to see how they react in the raucous crowd I'm expecting on Wednesday.
How much will playing in Vegas in two of these big games already help guys like Adem and Amari and Brahma?
We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see. It's just not their first game outside of Pauley. But it will, like I said, Stanford was a pro UCLA crowd. So I think every game for a young kid, meaning a freshman, you guys are 18 years old, people just completely forget about it. Well, he had a good game, so now he's going to get, Amari has a good game, or Dem has a good game, Dylan has a good game. Oh, he's arrived. He's going to be a freshman all season,
Right.
which means freshmen are more inconsistent than seniors.
Mm-hmm.
And see, it's just the way it is, And like I talk about, our basketball system's broken. It's because people that are involved in basketball, they just have no clue about college basketball. They have no idea about college basketball. You look around at McDonald's All-Americans and tell me that 80% of them aren't struggling. Now, I'd say they're doing what I thought they'd do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in basketball. you know, relatively high-ranking basketball person in America. The problem is everybody else thinks they know everything, and they don't. They think and they put things in these kids' heads, and it's just hard on these kids because they get in and it's like reality hits them. This is hard, especially now.
Yeah.
6th-year players, 5th-year players. Teams don't have to rebuild with young guys. They just get portal guys. How many freshmen even play in America? It's tough. You're 18 playing as 22-year-olds. It's a different world. Maryland starts 2 old guys, 2 regular seniors, I think, 2 old seniors. Other 4 guys. It's not easy, man. People have no idea. It's just absolutely clueless of how hard it is to be a good player at the college level.
How many years did you overlap with Kevin at Louisville?
Well, Kevin and I have overlapped for a long time, enough to know that I know that he sandbags in golf, rarely picks up a check, and his wife is the only reason that he's still going. That's how good of a person Julie is.
Okay.
Wasn't for Julie, Kev would have a lot of issues that he wouldn't have overcome, without question. So he definitely married up, saved his career, and don't ever ask him what his handicap is on the golf course. Never. Kevin's the epitome of a guy never makes a putt that he doesn't need. Always trying to get the handicap back up, and never ask him. He hasn't played golf in 5 months. If you ask him, Meanwhile, he's got a tan line on his socks that's so dark. It's like red versus white, but and like he's cutting grass or something.
So were you guys just talking?
No, we've been close friends for a long time.
Okay. But as far as how the game came about, were you guys just talking one day and said, hey, we should schedule this, or how did that?
Yeah, I really don't remember. This is how busy we all get. I know they got special dispensation from their chancellor because it's during finals week.
Okay.
But it was the only time. So for us, it started because Villanova wanted a gap year. So instead of returning this year, they wanted us to return next year.
Right.
So we knew we were going to have a gap year.
Mm-hmm.
So since we go to Villanova next year, now we got Maryland coming back.
Okay.
So, and then you got to fill in our dates. We had the Vegas deal done. We have finals where we can't travel. And then, 2 Pac-12 games and the CBS thing Saturday. So, trying to get, we couldn't get as our fans know, we couldn't get a big name opponent at home this year. It probably happened as soon as Jaime came back to school. Nobody was going to come play us in Pauley. So, we figured let's, even though we don't get that big home game, I feel bad for our fans, but, I wasn't going to try to say, well, let's not play one then. So it worked out because we had to, we were looking, where can we go play East and just get 2 games? And if you're going to fly all the way to New York, you might as well try to, get 2 good games out of it. Be a great measuring stick for us.
I watched some of their game against Illinois at the Xfinity Center. Great environment. They obviously get buoyed by their crowd. What's kind of your nutshell scouting report on Maryland?
I know a lot of their guys. I remember seeing Dante Scott in high school. I was Coach Savino sent me to see somebody else, but I fell in love with him, but he had already signed at Maryland. He's just such a tough dude, man. He can score. It's not like Jaime. He's a wing playing power forward, but he shoots threes, he drives the ball, he just gives him unbelievable toughness. He's a winner. He went to Imhotep's, a great high school in Philly. It's just always, he's just a winner through and through. Kev was able to hire a great staff. I know all those guys. And they were able to put together, get a couple of key transfers. Obviously Young at the point. He's a key guy for them. And, the guys that stayed and didn't transfer are guys that obviously wanted to win. So I'm sure I know what he went in there and told them. We're going to do what it takes to play hard and win some games. So they got a couple losses, but not many people are winning at Wisconsin, tied with 5 minutes to play, 4 minutes to play, tie game. Unbelievable comeback yesterday against Tennessee. I've been in that Barclays Center at times. You know, if there's not a lot of people there, it's cold in there. It's just hard to get going. It's just, the games are low scoring. But they've got, was able to immediately establish his culture and a connection with his kids. You see how tough, they're just tough. They just play really, really hard. They just don't give up. Everything I respect, in a team. So, but they got, when you got a really good point guard and you got toughness on the front line, a couple shot makers, I mean, you got the makings of a good team.
They had, I think, a 12-0 run yesterday and forced some turnovers. I didn't watch the game. Were they pressing or how were they?
Well, the problem was they couldn't score, so they couldn't set up their defense. I've never, they had 3 baskets, made field goals in the first half, so they really couldn't get into who they are.
Yeah.
Yes, but they're matchup press, matchup zone. They mix it up, man-to-man, matchup press, matchup zone. Try to do everything they can. He's a great coach. He always has been. So, not a great guy, but he's a great coach. This is all in retaliation to what he said about me at Big Ten Media Day.
Oh, what did he say?
Oh, I was cheap. I don't know. I can't
Okay.
remember. It's just, I've been waiting for this. Okay. So, no, he's always been a great coach. They run great stuff on offense. What they defensively, we all come from Coach Pitino. Obviously, I was with Coach Huggs as well. We believe that uncomfortable teams shoot a lower percentage. So they do everything they can to try to make you uncomfortable. So it could be changing defenses. It could be switching what some of your best plays or doubling your best player. They were able to. I just think yesterday to me is almost like a win for a program. I know Kev don't feel that way, but when you can be down as much as they were down and have 2 chances to tie the game, it just says so much about your character, your team, and the toughness of your kids. And I'm sure he's not happy about it, but it speaks volumes about who they are to do what they did yesterday. I mean, volumes about that. And then we're on to New York.